Hey you guys, welcome to a new episode of Food and the Single Guy with me, your very own Amaru. Now on this episode of Food and the Single Guy, I am going to show you how to cook traditional Javanese Bami Goreng from my country. Now this is a requested video. The amount of people that sent me messages or post comments underneath my videos asking me, when are you going to show us how to make Javanese Bami Goreng? Or as we like to call it in my country, Bami. Today is the day. So all of you that have been asking me, today is your day. Now, before we get on with the cooking, I have to get a couple of things off my chest, okay? Because I see a lot of people on this platform proclaim that their version of Javanese Bami Goreng is the real deal. I am here to let you know that that is not the truth, okay? Because traditional Javanese Bami Goreng, also known as Bami in my country, does not contain any vegetables. You don't add any vegetables to this dish at all, okay? Now, I see people add green peas, green beans, tomatoes, bean sprouts, cabbage. No. That is not Bami from my country. Granted, there are a lot of different countries, Asian countries, where people add vegetables to their noodles, but not in Javanese Bami Goreng. No, you don't, okay? I don't care what anybody tells you. Now, I've been to a couple of countries in the East, I've been to Malaysia, I've been to Thailand. I have seen people cook their noodles and they add vegetables, you know, like carrots or leafy type vegetables or pak choy or something like that, you know, or even peas like green peas or string beans and bean sprouts. But Javanese Bami from my country does not, and I do mean not, contain any vegetables, okay? And I have Japanese family members, so don't try to convince me because you're full of ish, okay? So let's move on to the cooking part of this video. Okay, you guys, now let's talk ingredients. This is what the Bami looks like. As you can see, these are egg noodles. This is a product from my country, and we can get it up here. It's a little more expensive, but nonetheless, we can get it up here. We don't necessarily have to call the family back home to send over a batch. What you also need to include is kanchur. Now, kanchur is aromatic ginger, and I'm going to post a link in the description box below the video so you can go ahead and research this on your own. It is related to the ginger family, but it has a slightly, well, not slightly, it has a completely different taste and a different smell. Now, these are chopped up pieces, chunks of the root, because it's a root, and I find that using these chunks for this dish works way better because it also comes in a powder. The difference between using this and the powder is you have a tendency to go overboard with the powder, and this thing will overpower your dish. So a little bit goes a long way. Now, what I'm also going to add, and what you also need to add, is this shrimp paste. It's Indonesian cooking paste. It's made of shrimp, and this is what's going to flavor your noodles, in addition to the soy sauce that I'm going to show you in a minute. All right, so this is a must. You have to include this in this dish, otherwise it's not going to taste the way it's supposed to. Now, I'm also going to use some chicken powder today. Normally, I would use a chicken stock cube, but I find that the chicken powder adds just the flavor that I remember growing up as a kid. You know, when I went to the market to purchase this, it reminds me, when I add this to my Bami, it reminds me of home. So if you want to use your chicken stock cubes, go right ahead. But be mindful with the amount that you're using because the soy sauce also contains a lot of salt, as does the chicken powder. All right? Now let me show you the soy sauce. Hang on. Now for this dish, I'm going to use two types of soy sauce. This is the salted soy sauce, and this is the sweet soy sauce, and you're going to use equal amounts of both. Now what I have here are some pre-packaged herbs and spices that people in this country use to make this dish with. Back in the day, The people in my country didn't have pre-packaged herbs and spices like these packets. So I'm not going to use them. I'm just showing you that we have them up here and it's very convenient to use them. It saves a lot of time. But I'm going to try to stick as close as I possibly can to the traditional recipe. So I'm not going to use these at this point. Instead of the spices, I'm going to grind a large onion with some garlic in my mortar. And I'm going to make sure that I grind it until it turns into a nice fine paste. Okay, you guys, now when it's all done, it should look a little something like this. And as you can see, it has turned into a nice fine paste. And this is what they call bumbu. Now, bumbu is basically just a couple of base ingredients ground together. Mostly wet ingredients. Now, this is also called bumbu, but this is dried bumbu. As you can see, these are dried vegetables in a packet. And the way you use this is you open the package, you pour the contents into a bowl, you pour some hot water onto the vegetables, you let it sit for a minute, upon which they're going to soften up a little bit. Then it is ready for cooking. So next, what we're gonna do, we're gonna heat some oil in a wok. I'm using my non-stick wok, but you can use any wok will do, but I'm using my non-stick wok today because I'm too lazy to get my gigantic wok out of the kitchen cabinet. Okay, so we're gonna heat this oil and then I'm gonna saute the Galanga root and the shrimp paste just like this. Next, what I'm going to add are the onions and the garlic. Followed by 3 pieces of this aromatic ginger and some Indonesian bay leaves, as you can see. Next, I'm going to add some soy sauce, the sweet soy sauce, and a little bit of the salted soy sauce. A little bit of chicken powder or your chicken stock cube. Followed by the noodles. And I don't think I have to explain to anybody how to cook pasta or noodles, right? And you want to make sure that the bami is evenly coated with the soy sauce and the rest of the ingredients. And you have to keep on stirring. Now this looks done to me, and I can tell you it smells absolutely gorgeous. Keep in mind that you don't want to add too much soy sauce because it's going to turn black, and that's not what you want. Also, make sure to taste your food and flavor it according to your own palate. Alright? Now last but definitely not least, what we're going to add to the bami is some freshly chopped parsley. Stir well. Okay, you guys, so traditional Bami Goreng is served with chicken, which is what I have here in my bowl. And if you want to know how I clean my chicken, I have plenty of videos on my channel in which I demonstrate to you how we in my country clean our chicken. You may want to check one of those videos out. Now what I'm going to do with this chicken is I am going to season it with some pepper, like so, and some garlic powder. Now you can use fresh garlic if you so desire, but I'm using some garlic powder because I want to. We're gonna give that a bit of a stir, just like so. Now what I'm also going to add to my chicken is these chunks of freshly chopped Galanga root. Now the Galanga root, otherwise known as sweet ginger, is going to flavor the chicken with such a distinctive taste. And you need this in your chicken. I'm telling you right now, if you can get this in your neck of the woods, incorporate this in your everyday cooking, it will make all the difference. I'm going to post a link in the description box below the video for you guys so you can go ahead and research that on your own. I'm going to put that in the bowl right now with the chicken, and a little bit goes a long way, you guys. Just be mindful of that. Just like that. Now what I'm going to add next is a little bit of the salted soy sauce, just like so. Give that a good stir, followed by a little bit, just a little bit of the sweet soy sauce. Give that a stir as well. There we go. It looks good, it smells good, but what we're gonna do next, we're gonna set this to one side to marinate for about a half an hour at least, but it is best if you let this marinate overnight. It will make all the difference. Okay, you guys, as you can hear, the cooker hood is turned on, so if you cannot hear me, I'm gonna add some subtitles, as I always tell you. What I'm gonna do next, I am gonna heat some oil in this cast iron pan, and I am going to brown the chicken on both sides, as we always do back home. So let's get to it. So you want to make sure that the chicken is browned on both sides, just like this, and you don't have to cook them thoroughly, you just want to give them some color before you actually stew them, because that's what we're going to do next. Just like this. And I like to cut my wings in half, as you can see, just like this, just to make sure that everything is cooked. We don't like any raw chicken. We're not trying to kill ourselves here. Now next, what we're gonna do, we're gonna saute an onion in the exact same pan in which we've browned our chicken. And don't worry about the burnt parts on the side of this Dutch oven, because that is the way it is. Every time you brown chicken in a Dutch oven, it will turn brown on the sides. And trust me when I tell you, there is nothing wrong here. It may look a little gooey, but you need to trust me when I tell you that your gravy is going to taste incredible. Okay? Okay, you guys, as you can see, I have just sauteed this onion in the exact same pan. And what we're gonna add next is some of the Galanga root. I'm going to allow this to saute for about a minute. What we're also going to add is some Indonesian bay leaves. And what we're going to do next is we are going to reintroduce the chicken to the pan, just like this. Add a droplet of water. You give it a good stir, just like this. And then you cover the pan and allow to simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes on medium heat. Meanwhile, let's have a look at my chicken. Ooh, honey, I am telling you, this chicken smells so good. And get a load of my sauce, you guys. Get a load of my sauce. See what I mean? Yes, see what I mean? Now let me go ahead and plate this and show you the finished result. Now, when it's all done, it should look a little something like this. And the way this food is plated in this picture, that is the exact same way it is served in my country. Up here in Europe, people have a tendency to garnish this dish with some iceberg lettuce and a slice of tomato and some pickled paprika and some pickled carrots. No, that is not how it is done. Trust me when I tell you this. Okay? Anyways, if you decide to make this dish, to cook this dish, if you decide to try this recipe, please let me know how you got on, because you know I'm always interested in hearing from you. In the meantime, I want to take this time to thank you for watching this very lengthy video. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. If I don't get to speak to you before the holidays, have a great holiday season, and I will see you when I see you. All right? Happy eating, happy cooking. Don't add crazy to the craziness, and I will see you soon. Bye.